A 280 million year old fossil forest has been discovered in Antarctica. Obviously, that's when Antarctica had life and greenery. A 280 million year old coniferous tree still has roots in Antarctica. Plants grew on this continent from 400 million to 14 million years ago. Understanding ancient polar forests can help researchers make predictions about how trees will react as anthropogenic climate change warms our planet. Antarctica has not always been a frozen country. Millions of years ago, when the continent was still part of a vast southern hemisphere called Gondwana, trees flourished near the South Pole. Now, new intricate fossils of some of these trees reveal how the plants thrived and what forests they may have looked like, what the forest may have looked like. The dinosaur extinction was about 66 million years ago, so it could have looked like this before the dinosaurs became extinct. Now, from what Eric Gulbrandsen, paleontologist, University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, said, Antarctica has an ecological history of polar biomes dating back about 400 million years, which is basically the total evolution of plants, he said. Plants that survived the low southern latitudes had to face dark winters and summers without the sun. A fossilized Glossopetris tree in the Transarctic mountains grew there about 280 million years ago, before being quickly covered in volcanic ash and turned to stone. This extinct species once dominated the landscape of the 35th parallel to the South Pole at a time when the Earth's climate was much warmer. Gulbrandsen and his international team, consisting of members from the United Nations, Germany, Argentina, Italy, and France, focused on an area about 252 million years ago from today, and during the mass extinction during that event, 95% of the Earth's species died. The extinction probably led to huge greenhouse gas emissions from volcanoes, which raised global temperatures to extreme levels and caused the oceans to become acidic. There are obvious parallels when modern climate change, Gulbrandsen said, which are less extreme but similarly lead to greenhouse gases. Before the mass extinction of the Permian, the southern polar forests were dominated by a type of tree called of the genus Glossopetris. Giant trees, 20 to 40 meters high, that's about 120 feet high, with width, flat leaves longer than the human forearm. So you can imagine how big the leaves were, said Mr. Gulbrandsen. And prior to the disappearance of the Permian, the Glossopetris dominated the landscape below the 35th parallel to the South Pole. Last year in Antarctica, Gulbrandsen and his team found the oldest polar forest in the South Polar region. They have not exactly dated this forest, but it probably flourished 280 million years ago, before being quickly burned in volcanic ash. This area contains fossils from a period that extends from before to after the disappearance of Permian, and after the extinction, Mr. Gulbrandsen said, the forests did not disappear, but they changed. Glossopetris is dead, but a new combination of evergreen and deciduous trees, like the relatives of today's ginkgos, have emerged. And he said, what we're trying to investigate is exactly what caused these transitions, and we do not know that very well. Plants are so well preserved in rock that some of the building blocks of amino acid that make up tree proteins can still be extracted, said Gulbrandsen. He specializes in geochemistry techniques. The study of these chemical structural elements can help to clarify how the trees handled the strange sunlight conditions of the southern latitudes, as well as the factors that allow these plants to thrive, but also led to Glossopetris, that tree's death. This was from Live Science, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.